Hi, my name is Kari and I'm the product architect here at FieldSync. What I'd like to go over today is one of our specific reports that we provide within the FieldSync Health application, and that is called the log report. Now, to access the reports module, you have to log in to the web application and access the reports button that you see here on the dashboard. Now, all user roles, with the exception of the system administrator, which is a technical-based role, have access to reports. Now, depending on what your role is, you will have access to see different individuals within the log reports, but the rest of the roles all have access to this report. So what the log report does is allows you to see all of the logs that have been created within your system, either on the mobile application or on the web application. And you can view the details and also print out a copy. Now let me go ahead and change the time frame here. You can see that by default it shows within the last week. So we'll choose the beginning of the month and select search. Now we have 3 log reports that fit the criteria just based on the date. Now if you want to minimize the data that shows up in the window, because if you have a lot of customers or clients, you might have a lot of these log reports. So you can also filter the list by the client. So we can see here that 2 of our reports are for Dolly Day. So we'll select Dolly, hit search again, and now you can see that the list has been limited to only Dolly's reports. Now let's say, for example, we also want to view only incident reports. I can clear the filters, I can select the date again, and I can choose incident report as the type that I want to see. So now when I hit search, I can see the 2 incident reports that fall within that criteria and all of the data related to those reports. Now, if you want to export the data into Excel to potentially send as an attachment to somebody or create some graphs or charts based on the data, then you can simply get the grid to display the data that you want and choose this export button, and it will push all of that information into Excel spreadsheet for you. Now, if we want to take a look at the specifics of a log, then we simply select this view link here for the log that we want. Now, if there have been any follow-up logs that have been created based off of an initial log, then we can choose to also include those. So I'll say yes. And here you can see that this is now a printable version of the log detail. So it has the client information, the date, the time, all of the details about the log, and then all of our configurable fields that were answered. So what time was the assessment done, all of the vitals, and you can even see here's our signature that was captured on the mobile application by the RN, and that is also viewable within this log report. Now in our next version, we will actually be allowing you to add a header image to this report and also designate a different title if you'd like, as well as a footer. So you can look for that in version 2.4.5, which will be coming out here in about the next week or so. So that will allow you for each different log type to specify the information that is shown at the top of the report. Now if we go into another type, so here's an incident report, we can choose view. And again, we see the details, but the fields that were completed are different because it's an incident report rather than a nurse log. So you can see that the configurable fields change based on what the incident or based on what the log type is. You can further filter the list and look at only the log reports that have not been closed by unchecking the show closed button. Now I think all of them that I have in my example system are currently open, so that doesn't change my list at all. But that would allow you to go through and see which ones maybe still need follow-up completed or which ones haven't been closed out yet. So that is a quick summary on our log report function. If you have any additional questions about the log report, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you so much.